First in line is John Domingue. He's a professor of computer science at Knowledge Media Institute of the Open University, and also a president of the STI International. John, and then we're gonna follow. Then we're also going to be joined by Wes, but I'm gonna leave the stage now to John.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. So I have 10 minutes to talk to you about 5 years worth of work. So it'll be quite a dense presentation. So some background and motivation. I'm from the Open University, where I've been throughout my career. I went as a PhD student back in the 80s to build an AI tutor. I got my PhD, but I still think I'm still working on that topic. The Open University is a bit special. It's large, 200,000 students. The word open means you do not need any qualifications to start studying with us. 34% of our students would not get into a standard university. We have tens of thousands of students who have a disability. So our core mission is social justice through education. And if you ask anyone at the OU who works there, they'll say that we do that through being open to people, places, methods, and ideas. We teach at scale. So we have an open area which has tens of millions of visitors every year. We had a MOOC company we founded which has 10 million learners at any one time. We do a lot of work with the BBC. So every time you see David Attenborough on TV, that's always a co-production with us. Blue Planet 2, Frozen Planet, Green Planet. So things that are driving us. So the dream of AI is personalized learning. There's an old paper, I think it's 1984, from Bloom, that did a comparison. Students taught in a standard class with 30 others versus students taught one-on-one, using a particular type of learning called mastery learning, where you cannot move to the next topic until you've mastered the one below. So students who are taught one-to-one perform 2 standard deviations better than students taught in a standard class. The average student taught one-to-one will perform better than 98% of the students taught in a standard class. And that's the dream that many of us have been following for AI, to give personalized one-to-one tuition. On the blockchain side, if you work at the Open University, you believe in lifelong learning. I hope you would all agree with me that learning doesn't stop when you're 24 or 25. And that means you're going to be learning across many institutions, maybe at different universities, maybe in your company, maybe on MOOC platforms. And that means you need to think about where you're going to store the credentials. So we have this underlying theme here of trust. And trust in education means credentials, and trust in the credentials. So where are they going to be stored? So the vision we have for this is that they're stored from when you're born. In fact, already in Brazil, birth certificates can be stored on the blockchain. So you're born, your birth certificate goes somewhere, and then as you grow up, you collect more certificates. Anyone who has children will know this. They have swimming certificates, sewing certificates, etc. There's also the vaccinations that they have, which are important when they travel. They win prizes. Then you get degrees, or you may get scholar qualifications. You go to university, you get degrees. You learn to drive. Maybe you drive your parents' car. So all of these qualifications need to come somewhere. And in our view, they should belong to the student. So we talk about self-empowered, self-sovereign students that are in control of their educational data, including credential data. So that's the vision that we have from a trust and decentralized side to go with the vision of personalized learning. At the OU, we have my lab, which is an R&D lab for the OU set up in 1995. We produce new tech for the university to use. We also have an innovation stream called Test and Learn, which has been £3 to £4 million every year, looking at new technologies, including augmented reality, virtual reality, blockchains, and AI. And this is the AI strategy in a nutshell. So in the middle is a sort of AI brain, where we have an enterprise data hub with all of our interactions with students and all of our content. We have different mechanisms, including generative AI and knowledge graph around that. And then you have a number of AI services. giving every student their own personal AI, having a tool which allows tutors to predict. We built this 11 years ago with 95% accuracy. Is the student going to pass the next assignment? Are they going to pass the course overall? Tools to support the creation of materials. We spend £40 million plus a year doing that. Tools to support the creation of assessment. And something we call the Dream Machine, which is an AI career coach. So I don't have time to show you everything, so I'll just show you a couple of things, just give you a few slices of what we've been doing over the last few years. So this is, let's say, version 0.1 of moving towards supporting students in their careers. I'll just start playing this. So we have a platform, blockchain-based, for storing credentials, based on the Open Badges standard and also using verifiable credentials. Within that, you put in the skills that students are acquiring as they learn. You then use information extraction to extract the skills in jobs which are advertised online, and then you do a semantic mapping between the two. And at the top, there are the jobs for which Michelle is qualified for. At the bottom, there are jobs for which she is nearly qualified for, and then there are where there are gaps, it points her to courses which can fill the gaps. So we think of one trusted data space between learners, credential providers, credential consumers who may be employers. And then you can see her looking at courses. So there's a lot more one could do around advising students, and we've done a lot of experiments on this. So we imagine that students will have all their credentials on the phone. So I can tell you today I have a PhD, and maybe half of you don't believe me. And if you don't, I have to get a flight, go home, go to my loft, maybe find my certificate. But if I can pull out a phone and you could have all my certificates all across my lifetime, across many institutions, then that would be great. So that's a glance at the Dream Machine. Content, AI for generating content. This is a PhD from a sister institute at the Open University. He analysed what's in our materials. So we have, it's 7 in this diagram. It's now 6 different learning activities. So when you're an academic, you don't write words, you write to support learning activities, to promote learning in your students. And the types of activities include being a simulation, just reading, assessment, experiential, interactive, communicative, etc. And the blue is assessment, and the orange is assimilative. So in a sense, our materials are boring. You know, you just sit there reading and doing assessment. And maybe with AI, you could make it more dynamic. So this is a writing assistant using generative AI. I'll just show you, so just a proof of concept. So you choose a module. This is one in languages. Our modules have 6 units. You choose a unit, and then you say, okay, I need a conclusion for this unit. And then you just say, the prompt is generated for you automatically. It first does a semantic search of our materials, so it's trusted, and then that goes embedded into a prompt, into GPT-4 through Azure. And then GPT-4 just writes the conclusion for you. You can speed it up. Of course, this is interactive, so you can say, we have a human in the loop, we trust the academic. And they can say, okay, please add a concluding sentence to this. I can tune it. But of course, they could throw this away if they want to, or they could adapt it as they see fit. A couple of other tools that we've integrated into this for the moment. You can store conversations, you can reload conversations, you can generate quizzes. It's all just instantly generated a number of quizzes for me. So generating assessments is something that academics find a bit of a chore. So it generates them seamlessly for you. The different types of quizzes with the answers. The next thing I'm going to show is activities. So remember I'm going to show Core GPT. So Core is a tool that we built over 10 years ago. It semantically indexes research papers which are online. So we have 300 million research papers which are online. So Core GPT acts like a state-of-the-art button. So imagine I have to update a course. I want to know what's the state of the art now. It finds me the 5 most relevant articles out of the 300 million and gives me a summary of those with the references. So I can embed them in. These are the activities. The tool can analyze what learning activities are you already supporting in the content I've ingested. and I give the academic the chance to transform this. So this is assimilative, the student is reading, I want to turn this into an assessment, or I want to turn this into something communicative. And they just click the button, and then the new text is generated. The academic can check this and then use it if they want to, or throw it away. So we think with this, we can A, save a lot of time, B, really make the materials dynamic, and the engine also forms the basis of what we'll give to the students, which will be in my next screencast that I'll show you. So this is it's the same engine, but now geared for students. So going to this Bloom's thing of can we move students to getting personalized learning. So what I do is I select a module, and I select a particular unit in the module. Again, it's the same unit in the languages area. I load them into the system, and then what I can do is I say, okay, I want to test myself. How good is my learning? Of course, everything is around assessment, and assessment is going to change with generative AI. So I've asked for 6 different test questions. So it's generated. The first one is, what is an accent? The second is to do with sign systems. I put in my answers, and then I ask the tool to mark. It will say it's correct, incorrect, or partially correct. If it's not correct, it gives a suggested answer that you can look at. So the students, of course, can use this to make sure that they know what they know, or they know what they don't know, so they can focus their learning. The tool will generate flashcards, so if there's an exam or test coming up, it will help them to revise. So any number, and it will generate a PDF if they want. And then finally, they can simply chat to the tool, ask questions, and get answers. In fact, the AI tutor asks them questions. So what's happening here is it's our curated material behind the scenes, so it can be trusted. There's no hallucination, there's no copyright issues, and we know what's happening to the students. Another thing we want to do is, this is all text space. As you know, if you look at any on Twitter or there are these human-like avatars. Like this is from a company called Unique. Some of them are scarily good, but I created my own avatar over the weekend, and I can't tell the difference between the avatar and me in how it looks on video. But what's happening here, I'll just show you a quick demo, is it's the same engine underneath, basically, but now you get speech understanding, semantic search, then a query, then through GPT-4, then the answer comes back. You see it as text, and then it's verbalized. So this is not an FAQ, it's not a hardwired question. This could be any question on the...
What is the difference between structured and unstructured interviews?
In a structured interview, all interviewers ask the same predetermined questions in the same order. This makes it easy to compare answers between different candidates. In an unstructured interview, the interviewer asks questions as they occur to them and follows up on the answers given. This allows for a more natural conversation, but makes it harder to compare answers.
Okay, so we've validated the writing and this with academics in the area, and they're pretty happy with it. So I find this very exciting in that you can automatically, pretty much, change, anything you've ever written into an interactive AI. Penultimate slide, we've evaluated an earlier version of this with students, and they like it. They like it a lot, and they want us to have it now. And then to conclude, all I would say is things are moving really fast in this area, and it's going to change everything. It's going to make everyone far more productive. It's going to give academics an army of assistants to help write materials. Students will soon have this personalized AI. And what we're doing at the OU, which we encourage everyone to do, is to coordinate, create educationally tuned versions, train your staff, and experiment. Thank you very much.